Hey friends, Mahin here. Stress and anxiety. When most people hear those words, they either resonate with that immediately, having noticed the impact that both of those have had on their own lives, or they're aware of these things but don't really feel that either affect them. Whichever you feel when you hear the words stress and anxiety, it's extremely likely that you would have experienced either of these at some point in your life to some degree. In fact, with modern life, it's more common to be experiencing stress and anxiety on some level than to never have felt this before. According to the American Psychological Association, nearly 40% of adults reported experiencing increased stress levels over the past year, and in the UK, anxiety affects 1 in 8 people. I don't know about you, but for me, stress and anxiety can be felt daily to varying degrees. So in this video, I'm going to let you know the 5 simple daily habits that I use and I encourage my patients to use to reduce their stress and anxiety, and how to fit these into your own life so that you can live the life that you want to lead. Firstly, mindfulness practice. Our current understanding of the stress response involves the hypothalamus, pituitary, adrenal axes, and the sympathetic nervous system releasing cortisol and adrenaline to deal with threats that can come from either inside the body or the external environment. While stress is protective in the short term, chronic ongoing stress can cause long-term problems with the endocrine and neuroimmune systems. I've done a previous video on the link between chronic stress, trauma, and pain that I'll leave a link to in the description below in case you want to check out the longer-term effects of chronic ongoing stress. For this video, it's important to know that any strategy that helps to reduce the pro-inflammatory chemicals released following stress are helpful. And one of these strategies is mindful breathing. Mindful breathing is a technique that involves paying attention to your breath and focusing on the present moment. Studies have shown that practicing mindful breathing can reduce symptoms of anxiety and improve overall well-being. For example, one study published in the Journal of Clinical Psychology found that participants who practiced mindful breathing had lower levels of anxiety and depression than those who did not. Mindful breathing can help to calm down our sympathetic nervous system and threat response, therefore reducing the release of cortisol and adrenaline. Examples of mindful breathing could be during yoga or through a formal breathing exercise. One breathing exercise you can use is the 3-4-5 technique, and this is a really simple yet effective technique that helps to move you from a threat to soothe state. You simply breathe in for 3 seconds, hold your breath for 4 seconds, and breathe out slowly for 5 seconds. Doing this for only 3 minutes can significantly reduce stress and anxiety whilst increasing awareness and focus. We can also practice formal mindfulness that comes in the form of guided meditation, and we can use various apps or websites to help with this that guide you through breathing exercises and mindfulness practices. Alternatively, informal mindfulness comes from being aware in the present moment of the activity that you're doing at the time. Try the 5-4-3-2-1 technique, which involves looking for 5 things that you can see, 4 things that you can touch, 3 things that you can hear, 2 things that you can smell, and 1 thing that you can taste. This involves using all of your senses and can help to dampen down the threat and stress response. Mindful eating involves paying attention to your food and the sensations you experience while eating. Research has shown that practicing mindful eating can reduce binge eating and emotional eating, which are often associated with stress and anxiety. Regular exercise is a well-established method for reducing stress and anxiety. Exercise releases endorphins, which are our natural chemicals in the body that can help you improve your mood and reduce feelings of stress and anxiety. Additionally, exercise can help you feel more confident and in control, which can reduce anxiety overall. Research has shown that regular physical activity can reduce symptoms of anxiety and depression, improve mood, and increase overall well-being. Specifically, aerobic exercise has been found to be particularly effective for reducing symptoms of anxiety. Aim for at least 30 minutes of moderate intensity exercise, which can include things like a brisk walk or cycling, at least most days of the week, if not every day. Incorporating exercise into your daily routine can be a really effective way to improve your mental and physical health and reduce your feelings of anxiety. When starting a new exercise routine, it's important to start small and build up gradually to reduce the friction and willpower required to get started and maintain the habit. Once the habit of exercising regularly has been formed, you can then build this up over time. However, the most important and hardest part is actually getting started. So choose the path of least resistance, which usually involves picking something that is fun and easy to do and then improving from there. Finding an activity that you enjoy can also help make exercise more enjoyable and sustainable in the long term, rather than doing a form of exercise you feel you should be doing just because it's good for you or it's what everyone else is doing. Overall, exercise is a really powerful strategy at reducing anxiety and improving overall well-being. There is a saying that if exercise came in pill form, it would be the most prescribed medication worldwide. And that's absolutely true, just because of the various benefits that exercise has. By making exercise a part of your regular routine, you can take more control over your mental health and live a healthier and happier life. Journaling and gratitude practice is another really good strategy at helping to manage anxiety. Journaling simply involves writing down your thoughts and feelings in a notebook or a diary. This can help process your feelings and help you to gain perspective on challenging situations. I like to keep my journaling pretty flexible. I keep a notebook and a pen on my bedside table and spend a few minutes each night before bed writing down whatever thoughts are currently going on in my head. Just by getting these thoughts down onto paper, it helps me to process them and leave them behind before going to sleep. Gratitude practice involves intentionally reflecting on the things in life that you're grateful for. This can just help shift your focus away from negative thoughts and promote a more positive outlook. Research has actually shown that practicing gratitude can improve our overall well-being and reduce the symptoms of anxiety and depression. For example, a study published in the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology found that participants who practiced gratitude had higher levels of well-being and lower levels of depression than those who did not. How I journal and practice gratitude actually really varies dependent on how I'm feeling and what's working for me right now. Currently, my journaling involves writing down one thing I want to leave behind that day, whether that's a thought, feeling, or something embarrassing that happened that day, 2 things that I accomplished, and 1 to 2 things that I'm grateful for. Here are some tips for incorporating journaling and gratitude practice into your daily routine. Set aside time each day. This could be first thing in the morning or before bed. It doesn't really matter, but just choose a time that works best for you and stick to it. Use a journal or notebook to write down your thoughts and feelings, and this can help you process your emotions and gain perspective on challenging situations. Even just by writing things down, it can be a really helpful way of actually removing the thought from your head onto a bit of paper. Write down things you are grateful for. This could be people in your life, experiences you've had, or even small moments throughout the day. Focusing on gratitude can help shift your perspective and promote a more positive outlook. And finally, be consistent. Try to make journaling and gratitude practice a daily habit. Consistency is key when it comes to making lasting changes. By incorporating journaling and gratitude practice into your daily routine, it can help you to build resilience and reduce anxiety. These practices can help you cultivate a greater sense of gratitude and appreciation for the things in your life. Getting a good quantity and quality of sleep is essential for reducing anxiety. Good sleep quantity is defined as between 7 to 9 hours of sleep every night for most adults. But our sleep quality is really important as well, as it's really important to make sure that we're getting the deeper levels of sleep that are really important for things like concentration, memory, and alertness the next day. Poor sleep can make anxiety worse, and anxiety can make falling asleep much harder. Therefore, improving sleep is really important in helping reducing stress and anxiety. So here are some ways to improve the quality and quantity of your sleep. Firstly, try to establish a consistent sleep schedule. Try to go to bed and wake up at the same time every day, even on weekends. This can help regulate your body's natural sleep-wake cycle and 24-hour clock. We have 2 main hormones that influence sleep, melatonin and cortisol. Going to bed and waking up at different times each day means that our body never knows when these hormones should be at their optimal levels for sleep. Create a relaxing 90-minute wind-down routine. Make sure you engage in relaxing activities before bedtime, such as taking a warm bath, reading a book, listening to calming music, journaling, or meditating. This can help signal to your body that it's time to wind down and prepare for sleep. Try to avoid stimulating activities such as watching TV, using electronic devices, or engaging in intense conversations. Avoid caffeine, alcohol, and nicotine too close to bedtime. These substances can disrupt sleep by reducing the quality of it and can make it harder to fall asleep or stay asleep. For example, the amount of caffeine in your system only reduces by half its initial amount every 6 hours. So even 12 hours after we have a coffee, we still have a quarter of the amount of this still in our system. So try to avoid this after midday. Alcohol, on the other hand, can make you fall asleep faster, but it can also disrupt the quality and depth of your sleep. Number 4, make sure your sleep environment is conducive to sleep. So keep your bedroom cool, dark, and quiet. Consider investing in blackout curtains, earplugs, or a white noise machine if you live in a noisy environment. Limit screen time before bed. The blue light emitted by electronic devices mimics atmospheric light, which suppresses the production of melatonin, which is our sleep hormone, which helps to regulate sleep. And this is because our body thinks it's still light outside. So try to avoid using electronic devices for at least an hour before bedtime. If you need to use your phone or computer, consider using a blue light filter or install an app that adjusts the screen's color temperature. These still emit blue light, but apparently less so. Exercise regularly. So we've already spoken a little bit about the benefits of exercise for anxiety, but regular exercise can also help you fall asleep faster and enjoy deeper, more restful sleep, especially if this is done outdoors and earlier in the day. So, as I said before, aim for at least 30 minutes of moderate intensity exercise, such as brisk walking or cycling, most days of the week. You can do higher intensity forms of exercise as well, but the moderate intensity 30 minutes is kind of a baseline level that everyone should be doing. Having said that, make sure you avoid exercising too close to bedtime, especially if it's quite high intensity or vigorous, as this can make it harder to fall asleep. Consider seeking professional help from a medical or health professional if your anxiety symptoms or poor sleep persist despite making these changes. A mental health professional can also help you develop a personalized treatment plan to help manage your anxiety. Social media has become an integral part of our daily lives. It's revolutionized the way we communicate, connect, and share information. So while social media has many benefits, it also has its downsides. Research has shown that excessive use of social media can lead to anxiety, depression, and other mental health issues. One of the main reasons social media can contribute to anxiety is the constant exposure to unrealistic expectations and idealized versions of people's lives. Social media often portrays the highlight reel of most people's lives, which can lead to feelings of inadequacy and low self-esteem. This can be especially true for the younger generations who have grown up with social media as a constant presence in their life. Another way social media can contribute to anxiety is through the fear of missing out, #FOMO. Social media can create a sense of pressure to be constantly connected and up to date on the latest news and events. This can lead to feelings of anxiety and stress as individuals feel that they are missing out on experiences or opportunities. It can also contribute to anxiety through cyberbullying and online harassment. The anonymity of social media means that certain people feel that it's okay to make hurtful comments or engage in abusive behavior, which is absolutely not okay, of course. This can be especially difficult for people who already are struggling with anxiety or depression. So it's really important to be mindful of this and make sure that we're setting healthy boundaries and limiting our exposure to social media. It's also really important to remember that what we see on social media is often a curated version of reality, and it's not an accurate representation of people's lives. Instagram Reels are called Reels for a reason, and they are the highlight reels of people's lives. So try setting app timers on your phone that actually block a particular social media app once you've exceeded the amount of time you've decided should be your maximum for that day. This can be really helpful as when we're scrolling on social media, we're often unaware of how many minutes or hours we've actually been on the app that day. App timers first make us aware of this and then can help reduce our social media use over time. You can also set up app blocking for when you're in a particular location, such as your work, or when you're in do not disturb or focus modes. You may actually need to download an app blocking app to be able to do this, as not all phones support that. It's important to recognize that social media can have both positive and negative effects on our mental health, and it's really mindful to be aware of our social media use and the effect it might be having on our anxiety and stress. So friends, have you had any challenges yourself with stress and anxiety? And if you have, I'm actually really keen to hear what you found helpful in the comments below. I read all the comments on my videos and I aim to reply to absolutely every single one. So please share any kind of tips, habits, or strategies that you find helpful in managing your stress and anxiety. If you found this video helpful, then you'll also find this playlist on happiness and self-awareness interesting. This has videos on my 5 morning hacks to increase your alertness and productivity, a video reflecting on whether I wasted my 20s, and the 6 keys to happiness. Thanks for watching, have a lovely day, and I'll see you on the next video.